Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Today, I want to be talking about playing to your limit. Playing to the limit of your capabilities. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so we all want to play way above our heads, don't we? Right? At least where I am, right? Everybody wants to be a 4-5 or a 5-0. Which I know in a lot of countries is pretty much like high intermediate, low advanced player. I got my man Coach Rob here today to give me a hand with this video because we are going to talk about playing to your limits. What it takes to get to be a 4-5 or a 5-0. So Coach Rob, thank you for joining me today.
Sure.
So let's start off by saying, why do people want to play, let's say like a pro? You know, they see all this TV stuff, right? They see Fed and Joker and Rafa, right? How do we get there?
Great question. As you know, all of those guys are world-class athletes. Phenomenal at whatever they would probably pick up and dedicated themselves to would be unbelievable. You look at Steph Curry, phenomenal golfer. You know, he's a phenomenal athlete. So eye-hand coordination, sense of ball skills that grew up at an early age playing and won the lottery in the gene pool really takes you to that level.
So Steph Curry not only is a great basketball player, he is a scratch golfer. So he practices golf a lot, right? Whenever he has a weekend off, I'm sure he's playing rounds and rounds and working on the game to be better, right? So how does one who basically just took up the game 2-3 years ago become like a 4-5? Because I see that as being a lot of beginners' goals as to be a 4-5, 4.5.
I would say start one level at a time. Learn what it takes to be a 3-0. How do I win at the 3-0 level? What shots do I need to do to succeed at that level? And then, okay, what's the 3-5 level like? What is the 4-0 level like? How do I improve at each level to get myself up to the next level? What shots do I need? What do I need to do? I need offensive shots. I need to play better defense. If I'm a doubles player, I have to be able to understand how to move on the court. Singles players, I have to be able to have some weapons and have the ability to cover more court as a singles player and have some finishing shots as well. So every level, there is a skill that you need to achieve in order to get to the next level. You can't just go from one to the top. It takes time. Tennis isn't a sport where you get it overnight just because you want it.
Right. So here's the thing about tennis, at least here, is that you become a 3-5 pretty quickly, right? Would you agree with me on that?
You can, depending on your athletic ability and your time and dedication to playing. A lot of people just want to warm up and play and start and don't actually practice, never work on developing any skills. They just want to play the game and call it first good and start. So
right.
When they wonder why their serve's not a weapon, they don't spend any time practicing their serve or hitting on the ball machine or working on their volleys or overhead or things they need to develop that if you had taken the time would help you succeed.
Right. So a 3-5 is essentially, would you say, high beginner, low intermediate kind of a?
It depends on the 3-5. If you're talking national 3-5 players, they're almost 4-0s. Some of them were 4-0s and have come down, and they understand the game. They understand where to hit the ball. They understand how to move and cover and can take the shots. And you know, their opponent hits them and they can, you know, find a way to get it back. and hurt their opponent. So 3-5 is usually, your 3-0, 3-5. That's most of your tennis players.
Right.
Right. Like, that's your big tennis population.
Exactly.
For club level players. And
I feel like, with the leagues, at least out here, there's definitely a contingent of 3-5s, 4-0s. After 4-0, the population kind of shrinks, right? 4-5, there aren't that many. 5-0, there aren't that many. When we get to 5-5, there aren't that many for sure. So basically, all the people that play, at least out here, are going to be in that 3-5 to 4-0 level. Rob mentioned a lot of mistakes, or some of the mistakes that all the 4-0s, 3-5s do, is that, you probably have a full-time job. When you want to go out and play, right, all you want to do is rush through your set or two. Therefore, you just kind of hit a couple warm-up balls and kind of call a first one in, right, on the serve, and then go for it, right? Now, why is that bad? Why is that bad?
See, to me, you really want to spend time. If you're really trying to improve and get better, play a set and have a goal. Like, hey, this set, I'm a baseliner. I'm really going to come forward. If I lose the set, fine, but I'm going to improve attacking the short ball. I'm going to improve coming into the net, trying to make my volleys better, trying to hit some overheads better. Work on things that you don't normally do. If you have a great cross-court forehand because you play a ton of doubles, work on your down-the-line forehand. If you never lob and you're a doubles player, lob the return of serve. Practice it. Tell your partner if you're playing doubles, hey, Harry, I'm really trying to work on these couple things today, so just be a heads up. And great. Hey, I might try that too. Good idea. I'll try serving and volleying because I like to stay back.
Right. So try maybe every other time. Try drilling. Right. Definitely. I remember hitting thousands of cross courts. Every other time. Right. So, and learning a pattern. Right. 3 forehands. Go one down the line on that fourth forehand. Right. Same with the backhand. See if you can hit 60 to 70 cross-court forehands in a row, right? Do the same with the backhand. Learn angles, right? You're going to hit 60 shots, right? Maybe the angles get shorter and shorter until one of you puts it away, right? So it's practicing to kind of play. So let's talk about situational tennis that nobody practices out there. You came up with a great scenario for me, and it got me thinking a little bit. Let's explain it to them. What was your scenario? What's the most important point?
So the score, think about what the score, 15 all, deuce, when is it the most pivotal? And statistically, I read that 30-15 is your most pivotal point. That I would, if I'm serving 30-15, I win that point. I'm up 40-15. Harry's in trouble now. I can unload a first serve at 40-15, try to get a cheap either ace out of him or get him to hit a weak return, and then I can try to attack and put pressure on him. Is a different scenario than if it's 30 all and I lose that 30-15 point. Harry's feeling pretty good because now he's like, hey, we're right here 30 all. But if it's 40-15, he's got to play 2 really good points just to probably get us back to even. So a lot of times if you're practice playing those big points. If you're not great under pressure, practice it. So, hey, when you're serving, okay, I'm up 30-15 and let's play a game.
Right.
And see how we do it. It'll be quick games, especially if you're playing no ad. If you're playing regular scoring, okay, you can get into a longer deuce. But play that 4 or 5 times and then flip it. So the server's now behind.
Right.
And he's at 15-30. And it's important that returner, maybe he gets an easy second serve. He may try to, do some damage and put a little pressure on to try to get that 15-40 lead.
Right. So what Rob is saying is, look, guys, we all dream of what? Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. You're at bat, right? We all dream of hitting that home run, right? We got to practice that home run to hit it, right? We all dream of, in basketball, the ball in your hands, right? 5 seconds left. You take that shot, right? You practiced those shots as a kid, right? You practiced those without even knowing it, just because that's where you wanted to be. So Coach Rob is saying, practice 15-30, right? Just like you were a kid and you're up at bat, 2 outs, right? You're going to hit that home run, right? Practice those shots, right? Situational tennis. So this actually goes into a great point, is that if you practice those crucial points as a child in baseball and basketball, and you practice those now, right? Will you still be tight, Coach Rob?
No. Pressure is a privilege, and you want to be able to know that when you step up to the line to serve on those big points, that you're not going to have the iron arm. You're going to be loose because you've done it in your head. It's no big deal. You've been there. Go for it.
One of the things that I always see people doing is losing their minds when they play what I call the wall, the pusher, the guy that just gets the ball back and drives you crazy, right? I mean, I can easily see like a 4-0 losing to like that 3-0 that all they do is pity pat the ball back because you don't know what to do with it because it's not coming with a lot of pace and you hate that, right? What do you do in that situation, Coach?
So a lot of times you're going to run into that. And when we're playing, if I'm the opponent, my job is not to give, say, Harry, my opponent, the shot that he wants. If he likes the ball at waist height and he's crushing those shots, I can't keep hitting that to him because he's going to beat me. I have to hit different shots. Maybe I have to lob him. Maybe I got to short ball him. If he's a wall, maybe I got to bring him to the net. I got to hit some short balls, try to get him out of his comfort zone. Maybe try to push him back, and then if he hits a lob, come in and volley it. But those are, a lot of those scenarios, you need the skills to be able to find ways to hurt your opponent. And if you haven't been practicing those kind of things, it's tough.
Yep, exactly. Play with a pusher. Practice with a pusher, right? Because you're definitely going to face those pushers out there, because I know I have, and they drive me crazy, right? I lose to 70-year-old men sometimes because all they do is drop shot and lob me. So, you guys ever have play with somebody who's 70 years old? They stand in a no man's land and they basically drop shot you from the start and then put it over your head, drop shot you again, put it over your head, right? You got to start dictating points. When you start dictating points, you make more mistakes.
Correct.
So,
you start trying to hit lower percentage shots, it's tough.
Right. Because you're playing the 70-year-old human wall that you're probably not going to win because all they do is stand there and you hit it to them, okay? Because they know exactly what you're going to do. They've been playing for 70 years. So guys, in order to play to your limit, you have to practice to your limit. So Coach Rob, how do we sum this up?
So to me, spend more time working on your game and not just playing set after set after set. And if you're going to play sets, try to have some purpose of why you're playing. What are you trying to get out of this set? What am I trying to do to improve? Not just whether I won or I lost, but what can I do to help myself get better?
Right. So one thing that I would advise everybody who wants to be better, read the book Winning Ugly by Brad Gilbert. And also watch an interview with Tiger Woods. There was one point in an interview that was back in 2016 with Tiger Woods. And he basically said, Tiger, why do you think you're the best out there? And Tiger basically said, nobody out practices me. Nobody prepares for every shot 100 times. The reason why it looks so easy out there for me is because I've hit the shot before. Even though he's way off the course on another freaking fairway and he busts through the trees, between the trees to get it back on his fairway, close to the green, is because he's practiced it before. right? So there's no shot he hasn't practiced before 100, 1,000 times, right? So practice will make you more confident, right? You've seen the situation before, therefore you're more prepared, okay? So I want to thank Coach Rob for hanging out with me today, and I want to thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.